This the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the holy God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pour cup. Toast to the winners, throw it up.
Juicy, where the drums at?
Our Father who art in heaven, I love when you toss me blessings. You never throw interceptions, I catch them like O.D. Beckham. Hard to not the devil when built like Tiana Teller and balling at 27. I feel like Iman Shumpert. Know there's a disconnect when the sheep start to lead the shepherd. The weak start to be aggressive, the streets start to be the reverend. Bragging about first class, seated on 9/11. They spirits are not united, a legion, my soul forever. I murder my adolescence, assault with a friendly weapon. I verbally dissect them to help them get back together. Wanting the stranger things, I handle it like 11. My point is I guard the kids. I should play for the Celtics. Watch how I Euro step them and curry them like I'm stepping. Whenever I'm in your town, the Warriors in your presence. I manifest my endeavors. I'm blessed and I'm getting better. I walk amongst living legends. Coach Contra will live forever. New goals, baby boo. Got my wrist in these grits, tryna whip something new. I am sick of this rampant. So are you. Hold on, switch. Mama, I'm gonna introduce my ego. Since the world full of villains, then let's introduce the heroes. We the good guys, no blood on our hands. It's Tito, she is back. Finna, guaranteed, move back. Type of view is that on the globe? It's a visionary peeking out the window of my soul. Might just fall back, lend a helping hand and play my role. You ain't all that in the mirror oversold. Call me Reason A, aka Malcolm XL. That's a big pun.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the reigning NFC champs and the Steelers, and it's all up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the AFC champion, taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. So it all comes down to this. We are ready, and Super Bowl 58 off and running from New Orleans. And we will not have a return. So
it's another one. We got another one. It's her. Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something by Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the ain't no way. Somebody daddy ain't gon' give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans.
Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Cowboys and the Steelers coming up next.
we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers, the AFC champion, taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. fortnight of Super Bowl week is over, and away we go in Super Bowl 58. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Henry. And he'll get about 3 out of that, up to the 39-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't it?
A first down carry for Henry. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the right side with Henry. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. They'll steal a first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Gosh, when you've got Deshaun Watson, Charles, executing a run-pass option, that puts the defense in a tough spot, does it not?
It does, and what I liked is that you called me this week, watching your own video, your own tape, and you said, I think the runner's going to pop a few this week because of what we've seen from Deshaun Watson. His ability to get to the corner, that's where the focus will go.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but he stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Henry up the middle. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Here's Watson. And right side, Henry's got it. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety of ways, but you're right, they want to run their offense through him.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Out route, and this is Henry with a catch. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. That'll give him 8 that time. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing is Stafford. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Cedric Wilson with a first touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that. And the Cowboys post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Tucker McCann now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. McCann's got it teed up. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. 46 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun to the 43, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He dumps it off for Henry. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. Running from the gun with Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Henry. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
I bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
They'll run for it with Henry, and I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Derrick Henry denied here on 4th down. And the Cowboys defense is going to get him the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. We need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll fire this deep for Ayuk. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. Shifts by him. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Pulls it in at the 13. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Jones. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Stafford popping this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They'll try the jet sweep. Stafford pops it forward. There's a nice move.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Stafford. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
McCann's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. kicking field goals? Not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Watson off play action. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Arnold Ebiketie in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. On the return is Jones. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Stafford. And a completion to Wilson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Stafford. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58. Running right, Jones. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
A good run, got 7 on first, 2 2nd and 3. Here's a give to Jones running left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Stafford. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. McCann's kick up and good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we're at the time in the Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
I wonder if they're wandering back to the huddle thinking to themselves, can we just hit rewind and go back a play? Definitely not the down they wanted to begin this drive by giving up a sack. But for the defense, that's exactly how they drew it up.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation. That's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Watson now to throw. And that will be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Jones is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That makes things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Aaron Jones, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. McCann's got it teed up. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think it's...
And the ball is knocked out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Jones with a nice gain there on first down as he takes his forward and call it a pickup of 6. Good gain there on first down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
They're not in any rush offensively. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
And the Dallas Cowboys will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. They are the kings of the NFL. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.